Welcome to my review of the YSL All Hours foundation and the BareMinerals BarePro. Both these foundations are pretty new. I think they were released maybe about a couple months ago. They both have similar claims, and that's why I wanted to do a comparison between the two. So here it is in the packaging. It looks really nice and sleek. It's in a frosted glass. It's a little heavy, but this lid even has the BareMinerals BarePro. Has like all the information at the bottom, and then this is also in a glass jar, but it's not frosted. So I have it in the shade Toffee, number 19. I want to read to you a little bit about the claims for each foundation to give you an idea about why I wanted to do the comparison. So for the All Hours Full Coverage Matte Foundation, it comes in, I believe, 22 shades. And I have the color BD50. Yeah, let me check. BD50 Warm Honey. And it has an SPF of 20. So, noticing from their shade range, I have, I think, like the 4th or 5th darkest color. So the shades, I feel like, are more geared towards people with fair or light skin. People with deeper complexions or tan complexions will probably have a little bit of trouble finding their color. I'm actually wearing it on half of my face right now on this side, and the color was just a little bit light for me. It doesn't quite match my neck, but my chest and my body is a little bit darker than my face. So it is a full coverage foundation. It says that it's pretty much good for all skin types, although I don't see dry being listed here. This is normal, combination, and oily. It has a matte finish, and it says it's a all-new 24-hour full coverage foundation that instantly blurs pores and fine lines and provides uninterrupted, flawless wear that looks and feels just applied all day. The All Hours 24-hour advanced formula won't cake, dry, flake, or fade. It's transfer-proof, oil-free, and non-pore clogging. This foundation stands up to makeup meltdowns by combining Move With You flexible pigments and skin-loving ingredients for better flawless coverage and skin that feels fresh and comfortable from day to night. The blurring formula instantly conceals and erases imperfections, pores, dullness, and unevenness. Skin looks flawless for up to 24 hours thanks to the highest concentration of ultra-fine, oil-absorbing pigments that cover and smooth perfectly yet resist fading, heat, humidity, dryness, and touch. The formula is also infused with a black tea antioxidant complex for additional skincare that combats the signs of dullness and fatigue while protecting skin from pollution. It's also made in France with the finest pigments and ingredients. It's oil-free, non-comedogenic, and dermatologist tested. So moving on to the BareMinerals BarePro Performance Wear Liquid Foundation Broad Spectrum SPF 20. So it's $34, and I think there are 30 shades. Yep, 30 shades. It has a full coverage, and the skin types that can wear it pretty much are all. Unlike the YSL foundation, it also includes sensitive and dry skin. The finish is matte, and it says it's a skin-loving 24-hour breathable full coverage natural matte liquid foundation. It's available, in 30 shades, and it basically says that it redefines what long wear means. The skin-loving high-performance formula blurs pores and imperfections while improving your skin's condition, all with a soft focus, natural matte finish. With up to 24-hour wear in range of 30 true-to-you shades, it works and plays as hard as you do. Just one pump delivers lightweight, oil-free, photo-friendly full coverage. The formula is powered by specially developed mineral lock long wear technology that blends mineral pigments with lipids naturally found in skin to lock in all-day full coverage. Natural bamboo stem extract provides a smooth, soft focus finish, while papaya enzymes gently improve skin texture both immediately and over time. This self-setting foundation is transfer resistant and color true. It's formulated without parabens, sulfates, phthalates, and it's dermatologist tested, oil-free, non-acnegenic, and non-comedogenic. So they always have like the like non-comedogenic or non-acnegenic terms, but I think non-acnegenic just means like it doesn't cause acne, and non-comedogenic means that it doesn't block pores. And then, because I'm looking on the Sephora website, it also shows like these research results about like when people wear it, like what they found. Like they said, oh yeah, when wearing it, it helped improve their skin's texture, hydration, and whatever over this amount of time. And how many consumers have tested this, found that it applies and blends easily and whatnot. So there's a lot of these claims, and if you want to check it out, you can look at the Sephora website. And I believe this foundation is sold both in Sephora and Ulta, whereas the YSL one is only sold in Sephora's, I'm sure, their own brand websites. So before we start the application process, I just wanted to let you guys know a little bit about my skin. I do have oily skin. So I do have oily skin, but when it gets colder and drier, my skin tends to be more oily combination. But since it's still hot in California, it's mostly oily. So, like I said, a little bit about my skin. I do have some breakouts right here, kind of like in between my brows. I do have freckles or hyperpigmentation on the side of my cheeks. I also have redness around my nose and on my chin, some scarring above my upper lip. So these are great conditions to test out a full coverage foundation, or more so 2 full coverage foundations. So I'll be testing out the YSL foundation on this side of my face, and then the BareMinerals foundation on this side of my face. So here we go. So for the YSL, it says that you have to shake it before use. Scent that I'd like to mention for people who don't like scents in their foundations. Yeah, be prepared. This one's a strong one. And by the way, I'll be applying the foundations with my Sigma F80 brushes. Here it goes. It's blending out pretty effortlessly. And I can see the coverage. You can tell that the color is definitely a little light still. And drag it a little bit down to the neck area. You can definitely still smell it when you're spreading it onto your face. It's still really strong. Can you see that? We have a guest with us today. Too bad. Let me try to focus on her. Ella! Ella, look! Isn't she cute? She's being really needy. She wants to play. Okay. Anyways, back to business. So now I'm gonna put the BareMinerals BarePro foundation. Shake it up again. And this one's actually more runny too. You can see it like running down my arm. There's also, if you like really sniff it, you can smell like a chemically kind of scent, but it's not strong. Okay. Yeah, this foundation spreads really well. Probably even faster than the YSL one. I feel like the YSL one is a little bit thicker, almost had like a moussey kind of texture. Whereas this one's just thin and liquidy. I feel like with half the pump for each side of my face, I feel like the YSL one has higher coverage and a more like, I don't know, like a more satiny kind of finish. Like I feel like it looks natural, but at the same time, in comparison to the BareMinerals, it does look like you're wearing a little bit more foundation. Yeah, see, like for the BareMinerals right here, my hyperpigmentation or my freckles, it's still showing. So it looks a little bit more natural. But I feel like this is buildable. Had I added a little bit more, I probably could have just built up the coverage. But since we're trying to be fair, we'll do half and half. Like I said, this is the YSL All Hours, and then this is the BareMinerals BarePro. You can kind of tell that there's a difference in shade. This one's definitely a little bit lighter for me. I'm gonna finish the rest of my makeup and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back now and this is what the finished product looks like. So YSL and BareMinerals. They look similar on the skin. They look similar, but I feel like you can kind of tell the difference if you look closely. Like I feel like the finish looks different. I did set it with a little bit of powder, especially in the T-zone area because I do get especially oily there. I'll insert some photos from the flash test here so you can see what it looks like. Since both these foundations have an SPF of 20, there's a little bit of flashback, unfortunately. Yeah, so this is a check-in for 6 hours. I can definitely tell that I'm oily. I did blow my nose. I think some of the foundation actually rubbed off, but it doesn't seem like it's noticeable that it rubbed off. Most of my blemishes, my spots are still covered, but yeah, especially in the areas that I have bigger pores, you can notice that there's definitely some oil buildup there. It's the 10-hour mark now. Right now, I've noticed considerable fading, especially around the cheek area. I see it more so on the YSL side than the BarePro. Especially like right around here, this area, or the area where I have the most pores. And I'm really shiny. I probably would have already blotted by now. Okay, so blotting sheet. We'll do the YSL side first. So let's see how much oil. Woo. Yep, there's a lot of oil, but hopefully by blotting I can get the foundation to last longer than on the YSL side. And as you can see, with just half my face, it's almost one entire blotting sheet already. Okay, so let's move on to the BarePro side. It's getting there, it looks like. For the BarePro side, in terms of oil, I feel like the YSL, the one on the left, there's actually, oops, here on the left side, there's more oil on the YSL side, but less transfer. and there's less oil on the BarePro side, but more transfer. So, okay, so this is what my face looks like after one blotting session at 10 hours. Result after 15 hours with only one blot about 5 hours ago. So you can see the foundation still looks pretty good. I feel like the coverage was still there for both sides of my face. Since I'm calling it at the 15-hour mark, I'm going to be removing each side of the foundation, or each side of the makeup on my face, and then we can see how much is left over. I'll be using the Garnier Micellar water, one of my favorite things to use. Okay, starting with the YSL side. Okay, so this is how much is on the cotton pad for the YSL side of my face. Here we go. Time to remove the BareMinerals side. This is the BareMinerals side. So there you go. You can see how much of the BareMinerals lasted on my face in comparison to the YSL. Hey guys, so it's basically the next day after I did the foundation test for the YSL and for the BarePro. So I had them on for I think 15 hours yesterday. Yeah, so now I'm gonna give you the final verdict about what I think about that foundations and whether I think it's either worth it or if you would rather, or if you should pick one over the other. I'll be starting off with the YSL All Hours Full Coverage Matte Foundation. I was hoping that they would have more shades online, but they didn't. It's legit just 22 shades. So that was kind of a disappointment. So that was a con for me, definitely the shades. I agree that it is full coverage. I feel like it is buildable. It's definitely matte, but it has like a satiny kind of finish, like a natural matte finish. I feel like on the skin, especially in comparison to the BarePro, like, I don't know, it did a better job of like sitting on the skin, like blurring out the imperfections. Like it was almost kind of like a filter. I didn't notice any caking. I mean, my skin is pretty oily, so I didn't notice anything clinging to dry spots just because I don't have any. It didn't flake off. Transfer proof. So I noticed the other day it didn't really transfer, but I did use the blotting sheet and it showed like just a little bit of the makeup residue. I mean, I feel like it's normal throughout all my foundations that when you blot, a little bit of the foundation will come off just because your oils are like breaking apart the foundation. I felt like it was holding up pretty well though. Like it didn't transfer an awful lot. Oil absorbing pigments. I think this prevents you from like getting oily, but I think it's supposed to help not make your oiliness as noticeable. So when I was wearing this foundation, I didn't really like see, like it didn't look like I was super shiny. In terms of heat and humidity, I mean, I was outside. I was grabbing food, running some errands. But it wasn't like super hot. I think it was only about like 80 degrees outside today. Skincare ingredients in it, like some antioxidants. It's oil-free and it's supposed to be non-comedogenic, so non-pore clogging. But yeah, the biggest thing about this was the shade range and the price, because $58 and it's not even a full ounce. It's 0.084 fluid ounce. Actually, another pro is that it has sunscreen in it, but that could be a con for some people too, because if you're thinking, oh, this foundation can last up to 24 hours, it's full coverage, you might want to wear this to like an event where you might be taking some flash photos. And you know, with sunscreen, there is some flashback. Moving on to the BareMinerals BarePro Performance Wear Liquid Foundation. Such a long title. So this has 30 shades, which I really like, especially since the YSL only had 22. This one has 30. I feel like the undertones are actually better in this foundation. There was like a mixture of like both like warm, cool, and like neutral shades. Yes, it is full coverage, but I feel like unlike the YSL, you had to use a little bit more of this foundation in order to build it up to the same amount of coverage. I felt like it was more natural, definitely more natural, more skin-like, and also in terms of like lightweight, I felt like because this one was more liquidy and the other one was a little bit thicker in texture or consistency, that this one was a little bit more lightweight on the skin. 24 hours. Did wear for 24 hours. Like the YSL, I felt like this one held up pretty well. I did the removal test on both sides of my face, and I did notice that the BarePro did have more foundation like left after everything. Did it blur the pores and imperfections? Yes, I felt like it blurred it, but it didn't like completely cover it up. So I'm sure the foundation is buildable, so you just have to pack on a little bit more to get more of that full coverage out of it. Pretty good in terms of transfer resistant, like I said. Pros. So I do like the shade range. There is more shades. I like the finish of this just because it looks a little bit more natural, and it's lightweight. I like how it has a lot of skin loving properties, or has a lot of good ingredients for your skin in it. It's also formulated without the parabens, the sulfates, phthalates, things, and also you do get 1 fluid ounce. Yep, 1 fluid ounce for $34. So in comparison to the YSL, you get more. This also has sunscreen in it too, the SPF 20, and I said that could be a pro or con to some people. All in all, I like both foundations. Do I like one more than the other? I kind of lean towards the BarePro just because I feel like it's a little bit more lightweight on my face. I don't feel it as much, but I do like the finish of this one. The finish, the blurring out the pores, the imperfections, the lines and whatever. Yeah, this one's nice for that. This one does it too, but like I said, you have to use a little bit more product, and I feel like the coverage isn't as great. You'd have to build it up just a little bit more. The BarePro is also cheaper than the YSL, and they give you more product too. So yeah, that's basically my review. And if there's any other foundations you'd like me to review, let me know. Just comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. And I'm also planning to do makeup tutorials, and this face that you see right now, this makeup, I actually just filmed a makeup tutorial for. So if you're interested, go ahead and check it out.